What's up, everyone? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. And break down how the market's looking thus far, what you should be watching for as time goes on in terms of news and the levels, and how things are looking when it comes to the overall news. But let me just mention that I am not a financial planner, so make sure you take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire community as a whole. Looking at SPY, we got this nice little break above this resistance at this 525 area. As a result of that, we push all the way up towards our 50 EMA at 528, and we're actually trying to break that right now. So the question is, can we close above this on a 1 hour basis? Can we get a good candle above this? If we manage to do that, there will be an attempt to fill this gap today. If we don't do that, it might just shuffle for a bit, so maybe take a little bit longer to fill the gap. But like I said before, we're still looking bullish. Now, if you're trying to jump in, this is not the time for entry. We had the opportunity way back here when I was talking about how we had the upside potential, especially that break of our 522 area, if not 525. So we had that entry way down here. I was talking about that. It's kind of late to try to enter. You could try to scalp, but I'm just trying to say that right now the move may not be as fun as where it was in the very beginning of the day when the market started pushing, and we did break down the whole point of how the market was favoring the upside. So yes, the upside target was made. There could be a little bit more upside potential if we end up trying to fill this gap. If we get a nice break above 528 and hold above that, so we'll just have to see if that ends up being the case. But I just want to call that out, guys. That's what we're kind of looking out for, at least as far as the market goes. So with that being said, we'll see how things develop at least from here. I also want to add that when it comes to the other pieces of news, we're still waiting on what's going on with the whole situation involving Israel. So please be very careful with that potentially coming out. But as of right now, the market is not really being affected too much. The market's still holding up very well and still looking quite bullish. Now, for more news, just note there's not really much going on in terms of our economic calendar for tomorrow. There's nothing that's really too significant that's coming out. And we have Supermicro's earnings coming out later on today, so I'll talk about all of that later on. But for now, the market's doing a very good job at holding up, and there's a good chance we're going to attempt to continue to do so. So we'll see if we could try to reclaim 528 and close above that on our 50 EMA. If we manage to do so, there's a good chance that SPY will continue this gap fill for 531. If we fail to hold 528, then I'll be looking to see if we retrace back down to closer to 525. So far, so good. We'll see if we get a nice close above here or not on the hourly basis, and we'll see how well we hold up. But I just want to say that despite that, regardless of where we go, even if we do kind of like dip a little bit, the market still has potential to push a lot more later on. We're still seeing a lot of buyers defending, and we're looking pretty good, in my personal opinion. So, with that being said, the bulls still have the edge. Even if we do pull back just a bit, we're going to likely see a bullish continuation, and the market is still holding up quite well. For ES and many other tickers out there, we're looking bullish. We're still breaking out. We broke our 50 EMA on ES. We're testing this gap resistance at this 5340 area. If that breaks, we're going all the way up to about 5360. We still look more bullish and have more upside potential, in my opinion. For SPX, we're attempting to fill this gap as well. Watch support at 52.89. If we keep holding above this, we could easily start pushing for 53.40. So we look more bullish as we have this gap to fill. So watch and see if that ends up being the case. So far, so good. For Nvda, we're pushing. We actually came up to fill this gap. We're doing a good job at breaking resistance. We're going to be watching supports right over here around this 104 area. I'm sorry, 106 area. That's where the resistance happens to be. That's going to be our supports. If we break past 108, another level I called out, this thing will easily start pushing into the 110s. So watch 108 as resistance, 106 as supports. We've been stuck within this range for the past 3 hours. So we'll see which way Nvidia breaks. But there is still upside potential looking at the technicals. Bitcoin is also on a bit of an uptrend. We do have kind of like a wedge-like structure that's forming. Look at resistance at 57,000, and we have support down here around 56,000. We're favoring upside. We look like we want to continue to push to 58,000, so give this some time, and we'll see how things end up developing. For the QQQ, we have the 50 EMA at 544. If we continue to hold above this, we could be trying to fill this gap all the way up towards 448. We came a little bit short of doing so. And if we don't reclaim 544, look at 542 as key support. That's close to where our 20 EMA happens to be. So I'll be watching that very carefully. Watch the levels and how we trade between them. For Aapl, we're still stuck within our range. Make sure you look at resistance around this 212 area, and we have support all the way down here around this 203 area. We are favoring upside a little bit more. We look like we might try to push a little higher up to about this 212 area. We got to break 208 for confirmation. So it's holding up decently. Not super strong, but it's still decent, I would say. For the IWM, if we lose 204, we're going to be dipping back down to 202. If we break 207, we'll be pushing back up towards 208. We're kind of stuck in the middle, but I do see a little bit of upside potential. So wait and see how things end up developing. For Coinbase is kind of stuck in the middle. We have 193 as support and 199 as resistance. We'll have to see how things go from here. There's a bit of an uptrend, though. It's trying to uptrend. Got to break past 200 to really start pushing. We're still stuck within our EMAs, but I see potential in this, a little bit of potential, but we'll see if we break resistance or not. Amazon's breaking out. We're at gap resistance right now. If we break past 165, look out for 166 and eventually a gap fill at 167, just under 168, I would say is probably a better way of putting it. We have 162 as support. This does favor upside a bit more, so we'll see if that gap fills. For Meta, we're also breaking out very nicely. We reached the 500 target. If we break through that, we'll be pushing all the way up towards this 510 area. If we reject, we'll be dipping back down towards 490. This chart is still favoring upside for a nice V-shaped recovery. For Microsoft, we're looking more bullish. If we break 404, I think we could easily start going up towards 408. And if we lose 401, we'll be dipping back down to about 398. We are favoring the upwards direction. If you look at how Microsoft is moving, but just know that 404 is a very tight level. Got to break that to really start pushing. We're looking pretty good so far. And finally, for Google, we're just trading sideways. Like I said before, it's not that great. I really don't like this setup. We're just completely range bound. So that being said, we'll give this the time it needs. We'll see how things end up developing, at least as time goes on. With that being said, thank you for listening. Hope you guys have an absolutely great day. I will see you guys very soon in my next video in just a couple of hours. Until then, take care, guys. And just know that as far as the market goes, as of right now, okay, we're still favoring the upside direction. Even like Tesla's trying to rebound, making a nice move. So it looks pretty good. I want to see Tesla actually try to break past 202 to really start pushing. So far, it's coming a little bit short of doing so. So we're going to be watching. We have kind of like a mixed signal right here. The question is this a head and shoulders on Tesla? Are we about to dump or are we about to break past 202? I'd be careful with the way it's looking, but just know that, if we manage to break that 202 area, we would have more upside potential. We're not quite there yet. We haven't been able to break it. So we'll just have to see. If we do end up losing 195, Tesla will turn back down. I want to just give you guys a warning about that. We are looking like we want to push, but just be mindful of the fact that there's a head and shoulders forming on it. These don't always play out, so I'm not saying it will play out. I'm just saying to watch your levels just to be safe and just to be a little bit more careful about Tesla. I just want to call that out one more time. So one more thing worth noting is that we have that situation in the Middle East. We'll see if that also leads to volatility or anything like that. So make sure you guys are very, very patient with the way the market's moving. And until then, I will see you guys in a couple of hours just to give you guys more insights and updates on how the market's looking. So please take care. I'll see you guys in a few hours. Just note that the whole situation in the Middle East could also affect us, but so far the market is favoring upside. And I'll see you guys in just a few hours. Thanks again and peace out.